Sorry, I look so crazy, but this is what you're gonna get today. I was able to see Mufasa the Lion King last night, and a couple things. I accidentally purchased 3D tickets. I did not know this, and this is like kind of the second time I've done something like this. For Beetlejuice, I bought the 40X experience, and I had no idea I did it until I arrived. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I went in there and I was like, why are people wearing 3D glasses? And I'm like, oh, I must have bought tickets for a 3D film. So anyway, I wanted to let you know that because I do think it's probably going to impact my review. Okay. So Mufasa is an origin story. It is a Disney film that is taking you back to pre the original The Lion King and how Mufasa from a cub and meeting some of the other players in the original film and what that looked like and how he became who he became. So it is an origin story. First, I did write some notes because I wanted to make sure I hit on a couple things about this, like after I walked out of this film, and some things that just kind of took me a little bit. The story is okay. I didn't mind it. I think it did a good job in evolving. I think that because the film is made for kids and the idea is, are they going to remember what happened in the original Lion King? At times I thought they overdid the storytelling because they were sort of dumbing it down. So like a diehard fan of the original Lion King like me, I'm like, well, why do you have to do that? You know, especially closer to the end of the film, this does a lot of that, which was a little off-putting. But overall, the story's decent. The music, oh yeah, not anywhere near the original film, The Lion King, the first one. This is more like there's a bop or two, but I'm not running to my iTunes and downloading this. There's just nothing to me. Some of it sounded the same, and I know I say that a lot with musicals anymore, but they were good, and there were good moments with the music. But if you're going into this expecting a soundtrack like The Lion King, then sorry, it's not happening. This film is completely CGI. It's entirely CGI, and it is done with a photorealistic animation is what they call this. But I will tell you, this was breathtaking. And this is where I think the 3D comes involved here. Seeing this in 3D was just beyond. I felt like I was there. I was transported there. The intricacies, everything was so good, but it wasn't annoying over the top. Sometimes when you see these sorts of films, it's like, okay, we get it. Like they try too much, or sometimes it doesn't work. This entire thing worked in 3D for me. I was captivated the entire time. I felt like I was on a frickin' safari the entire time. So kudos for that. There is one thing to this, is that I know that this is a Disney film and kids are going to want to go see this, but I'm not going to lie. There were moments to this film where I'm like, this is kind of scary. Like if I was a little kid, I'm like, are little kids going to be scared? There is, a lot of implied death in this, and injury and hurting and stuff like that. And I know some parents nowadays are like, oh, do I want my kids to see films like that? So, word to the wise, if you're a parent that is concerned about those things, be mindful that this could be jarring for a very young child. I was kind of like, oh, like that at some parts of this film. So, there's some fight scenes and stuff like that. And because it's CGI and it's done in a CGI way, not so much where you feel like it's like this cartoony animation, it feels real in a lot of ways. So again, that's one thing I wanted to point out. I'm giving this a solid 3 out of 5 stars. I know a lot of people are coming for this film, and I think that my review and the reason why I'm giving it this 3 out of 5 stars is just from the 3D experience, and the photorealistic animation that was done with the CGI was really stunning to me. So go check it out. It's out now in theaters. It's rated PG. It's a little bit under 2 hours, so it wasn't crazy long, but it felt good. It felt positioned good. I will say the ending is wonky, and I think also seeing the original film is very important. So a couple takeaways that I want you to know is there is some violence for young kids. Be mindful of that. The CGI and photorealistic stuff was phenomenal, especially in 3D, and I think that's why I'm saying that. The music subpar, a couple good bops, and overall a decent, solid film, but it does not compare to the original, The Lion King. So go check it out now in theaters.